Hello, amazing people. Hazel Bulubisi here. Join me on my trip to New York. If you're an oldie, welcome back. If you're a newbie and you like what you see, make sure to hit the subscribe button. This was my first time in the US and I honestly didn't know what to expect, so I was just going with the vibes and hoping for the best. I had a whole itinerary planned out. I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do, but I got to do most of them, so that wasn't too bad. Day one started with me walking through Wall Street and just seeing what it's about. After Wall Street, ended up at the Brooklyn Bridge. Then after the Brooklyn Bridge, stopped at Times Square just to see the vibes during the day, and later I went back at night to see how it looks. I think it looks better at night than during the day. And after that, joined my two favorite human beings for lunch. Then hung out for a bit and ended up getting dinner as well that night. And that would be day one in a nutshell. There are some photographers at the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm never really keen on getting strangers to take photos of me, but the guy really convinced us, so we ended up taking a photo and it looked quite nice. They turned out well. So if you're there, you might as well take the chance and get some photos done, or taken rather. For lunch, I forgot to mention we went to Los Tacos. Oh, those tacos were really, really good. I enjoyed them. I think I just inhaled them in a few seconds. Well, as for the ambience of the place, it's just more like a fast food place. So you get your food very quickly, eat, and you're out. It gives me those vibes for Sanford. If you know Sanford in Nairobi, yeah, it gave me the same vibes. But yeah, it was worth it. I really enjoyed their tacos. For the dinner place, the food wasn't really that great, so I didn't even bother remembering the name or taking any videos there. That marked the end of day one. Day two began with me sightseeing the Rockefeller Centre. On that day, it was just me by myself, so it was Google Maps and I. I was a bit nervous at first. I thought I'd get lost because of all the subway systems, but it wasn't too bad. I actually thought I took some footage of the subway, but I really didn't. The one thing no one tells you about New York subways is how it smells. Oh God, it smells so horrible. I was in shock. I didn't expect it. There are also such big rats. I saw a rat, I think it was the size of my hand. Hey, I was traumatized. Anyway, I digress. My next sightseeing place is the St. Patrick's Cathedral. It's interesting to see the different architectural designs. Not that I know much about architecture and their designs, but it's just nice to see a historically looking building in between tall modern buildings. And it was really pretty, both the outside and the inside. I went in to see how it looked. I spent a few minutes here and then headed back outside. Stood outside, people watching as usual. Looked at the Atlas statue. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I stood there for a while just looking at all the cars passing and all the yellow cabs. Then after that, I headed to my next destination. My next destination was MOMA, Museum of Modern Arts. I remember here I had to pay an entrance fee. I think there was some sort of exhibition. Stood here for a while just watching this. It was pretty interesting and cool. It captured your attention for a few minutes. So I was here for a bit before I started just walking around the museum and seeing what it was all about. They had all types of art, which I found interesting. So I spent a few hours here before heading to the next place that was on my list. The last thing on my list for the day was the Roosevelt Island Tramway. It's basically a tram that just gets you onto the island. You can use the Metro card for this. I just took a ride back and forth, so you have to pay to go, and once you get there, pay again to come back, which is what I did. I literally got there and just entered the tram that was coming back. It's nice to go during sunset time because you're able to get the sunset and also to get a good view of the city. So I'd say if you're in New York, give it a try. To finish off the day, ended up meeting my friends for both drinks and dinner, and that was the end of day 2. Day 3 started off with the Chelsea market, and then after that just walked around seeing all the touristic things. It was just Google Maps and I again. Started off at the Vessel, which was a cool building, but they closed it off so you can't really go up. Next, headed to the little island, and as the name suggests, it's just a small island. It has a really nice view. So I spent a few minutes here. I then continued walking through the streets and stumbled upon this cool street artwork. After that, headed to my next destination, which was the Washington Square Arc. I didn't spend much time here, just took a few photos and moved on to the next, which was the Charging Bull. Here there was a bit of a line, so I'd suggest maybe go during different hours when it's not a touristic time, which I can't really tell you what time it was because I think this was like a Sunday, but there was still a line. Anyway, after that I headed to Pier 35, which is just somewhere where you can sit and soak up the view and just enjoy yourself here. It was quite calm and quite relaxing. I think I spent about an hour here until it even got dark. I was just watching and just enjoying being by the water. So that was pretty much it for day 3. After this, I headed home. On my last day of being a tourist, I decided to start with the Manhattan Bridge. It took a while to find it. I got a bit lost, but when I found it, it was a nice view. Then I took a ferry to head towards the Statue of Liberty and the Ellis Island. There were many companies that offered this tour, but I'd advise to just go directly on the website for the Statue City cruises and book your ticket from there. At least you'll know you're not getting ripped off, and it was the most affordable one. I got a ticket that enabled me to go up until the pedestal where there's the observation deck. And then it also allowed me to go to the Ellis Island as well. And I think it was about $30-something if I'm not wrong. So it was good compared to other companies which were double the price. Anyway, so I took the ferry. The view was breathtaking. It took a few minutes, maybe I'd say 10 minutes, 15 minutes thereabout, to get to the island. Then got there, walked around for a bit until I found the entrance and started the journey up because I chose to take the stairs and not the lift. I'm not gonna lie, the stairs killed me, but the view was worth it. Anyway, after spending a bit of time up there, I headed back down, took a few photos outside, then went to the museum, it was a museum where it explains everything and how the statue was built. And yeah, it was quite interesting to finally know the meaning of it and the whole history behind it. After that, I took the ferry back. It stopped by Ellis Island. I didn't get off here because I was running late for my next appointment. So I just viewed it from outside, or rather from the ferry, as people were getting off. Then I continued back onto the land. The last place I visited was the Summit 1 Vanderbilt building. Well, I don't know what I'd say I feel about this building. I think I had higher expectations, but anyway, I still had a good time. The views were spectacular. You could see the whole city from there, and you could see all the famous buildings. The building had different levels. First was this level that was full of mirrors, so they gave us sunglasses so as to avoid damaging your eyes because it was very bright up there. Next, went here just to get a better view of everything and take a video of myself. Then walked through here so as to get onto the next level, which I think was the most famous one and what attracts people to this building. It was the Affinity Air, where they're just air balloons and you can play or take photos with them. Then after that, there was a room that showed your face on the clouds. I really didn't understand that concept, to be honest. Then there was here where you could take a photo with the view, but the guides can't take photos of you. So if you're by yourself, you have to ask someone on the line. After that, took the lift up to the highest point of the building and then returned to the bar and got a cocktail. And that marked the end of my trip to New York City. See you next time.